Pokemon was like, yeah, we're going to double down on our reveals. And they officially revealed the mechanic and the style of art coming in Generation 9 starting in 2023 with the EX, the return of the Pokemon EX cards. And before we start talking about it, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit, but this is a pretty big change from what we're used to here over the past few years in the actual playing of the Pokemon TCG. So we're going to see a lot of cool things happen here starting in 2023, and I'm really excited to talk about it here today.
Yeah, and I've said this. If you guys have been on my live streams and if you've watched any of my videos that I made in June, I talk about how undervalued I believe the Black and White and X and Y era cards are. And this announcement really just has me doubling and tripling down on that statement. I have been buying and loading up on EX cards, EX full arts, secret rares, whatever I can get my hands on from the X and Y era specifically. Black and White, a little more expensive to get around to those, but I've been getting some of those as well. And I'm telling you guys, the reaction that could potentially be coming with this announcement on those era of cards, stick with it, guys. Go buy yourself some EXs from the X and Y era. So yes, if you guys did not know, on August 21st, during Pokemon Worlds, not only did they crown a new champion on the final day of Pokemon Worlds, they gave us the EX. And what we got was the Ko-Rhydon and the Miraidon EX in full. We got the whole cards, guys. Silver borders and all, which makes me extraordinarily excited. If you guys weren't around for the X and Y era, this particular art style for EXs are considered like half art cards. This is the standard ultra rare, would be similar to your GX or your V, your regular V. So they're not going to be like we don't know what the full arts are going to look like. We don't know what if there's going to be rainbows or alternate arts or any of that stuff. Gold cards. We don't know what else is coming, but we got the announcement of the standard ultra rare, and they look fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read it real quick. Pokemon EX rule: when your Pokemon EX is knocked out, your opponent takes 2 pride cards, 2 prize cards, pride cards,
2
pride as well, I guess, right? So ASX, I'm going to have you break this down in a second. You were kind of telling me that even though the artwork is similar to the X and Y era EXs, because you can also see, if you go to Poke Beach, there is a Lucario, a Mimikyu, and a Magnezone that have also been revealed partially. They're partially revealed. We got the artwork. The Magnezone, we can see the moves a little bit. But most of the card is completely blocked off. Half art cards, they look great. They all look like they have the silver border, which is fantastic because I think that's one of the things that are my favorites about the V-Star cards is the silver border. I love it. But the EX cards actually play more like the old X and Y cards from the EX, or the old EX cards, not X and Y cards. The old EX cards from the actual EX era when Pokemon first started printing after Wizards of the Coast. So break it down a little bit, ASX.
Yeah, so you started off very, very good on that. So yes, they look like our X and Y X and Y EX era cards. Say that 3 times fast. Exactly. But yes, you're exactly right. They play like the original EX era cards. So what that means is, and how this is so much different than what we have right now, is that with the original EX era cards, you had to evolve into that card, much like our stage 1, stage 2, stage 1 and stage 2 cards that we have right now. So currently, a lot of our all of the V cards are all basic, so you can just throw that right in there, start playing away. But with these EX cards, you're going to have to evolve up into that. So there's going to be more of a buildup coming to the TCG here, which is going to switch up a lot of things here, because like this era, that the Sword and Shield era that we're playing in, there's like very rarely any sort of evolution type decks. Yes, you do technically evolve from V to V Max, V to V Star. So we still do kind of have that evolution. But to get to, these EX cards, to get to those big hitter moves and everything like that, you're going to have to do a little bit more evolution to get there, which I think is really, really cool. It's going to bring a lot more and a lot different types of strategy into playing. Right now, it just seems like it's very straightforward types of matches. Just watching Worlds that just happened last week. It's like you can kind of, if you watch enough and play enough, you can kind of see like where these matches are really going. Just because like all the cards play so similarly to each other. But now that we're gonna have this, exactly. So I'm really hoping that this, not necessarily new mechanic, but resurrected mechanic, is going to bring some excitement and some something new, some new feel, so a fresh feel to actually playing the game.
Right? Like just
Yeah.
So
So
the EX mechanic ran from 2003's EX Ruby and Sapphire all the way to 2007 EX's Power Keepers. So they ran with this mechanic for a very long time. You're looking at
that is a long time
of this being in standard, which just does not happen nowadays. Usually it's like a 2-year rotation sort of a deal, where during one generation you got the V mechanic, right? Or the GX mechanic. And this actually ran for almost 4 years, which is pretty crazy, and it's pretty cool that they're bringing it back. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm more excited about the artwork because I'm a collector, as you know. I'm not a player. I don't play the TCG.
Right.
And we've talked on this podcast before. It drives me crazy when they make TCG decisions solely around the game and not around the collector. It should be only for collectors. I'm just kidding. Don't at me, bro. I'm just teasing. Relax. But just in terms of the artwork alone, the standard EXs are absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I love it so much, and I love that they're giving this silvery touch to it. Because the old EXs, even from the X and Y era, like it was a gold EX, and then the artwork kind of blended into the border a little bit. There was, the fiery Pokemon had some fire around the border and stuff, which was really cool. But I love that the old EXs had the silver border. They had the top and bottom and the edges on the silver bordering, and it looks
extra sparkle.
Like they're bringing that back. And it also looks like they're bringing back like the, what is it called? Like the Galaxy holo print on the border as well. It doesn't look to be as prominent, but if you look at the Koraidon EX card at the very top especially, you can see the Galaxy print along the top border of that Koraidon amazingly. And I love that so much. And it looks like they're just doing it better. It's almost like they merged the two of them together. They took the silver border of the old EXs and they're incorporating the element of the move set, the fire, the blasting, the leaves and stuff like that from the new ones as well into the card. And it looks like they're just merging the two different types of EXs together. And I am freaking here for it. I think it's awesome. I'm really excited about it. Now, the most thing I'm really wondering is, what are these full arts going to look like, man? So let's review the last 2 generations of full arts, right? So in the Sun and Moon era, we had the solid backgrounds, it was basically the same color of the Pokemon. For the most part, which was cool. I think sometimes it really turned off the card. Like the full art Gyarados looks not the best to me because the blue background is the exact same color as the Gyarados. And he
just meshes in with it.
The exact same thing happens with the Lapras. It's blue, and it's kind of like, not my favorite thing. But you got to admit they were super vibrant, and they looked pretty good. And then during the Sword and Shield era with the V full arts, it was almost like a tie-dye, multicolored, neon, like disco backgrounds of all the full art cards.
Yeah.
Which, it was an upgrade, art-wise, stylistically-wise. It was an upgrade, but for the most part, full art cards fell down in the pecking order in terms of rarity.
Oh yeah.
making them extraordinarily affordable. So, like back during the EX era, where full arts were super rare, which is still my favorite era of full arts, by the way. So, I'm hoping the EX now full arts look similar to the X and Y ones. I have been buying them and loading up on them. I am super stoked. And like they were like the rarest type,
Yeah.
back then. Full arts were it. And then Sun and Moon, we got the rainbows, which took over the rarity slots. And then we got the tag team cards.
Yeah.
And then during the Sword and Shield era, we had rainbow, we got gold, and then we got the alternate art. So technically, I have like the five different types of rarity and the VMAX. I guess the full arts, I want to say it goes VMAX, and then full art in terms of rarity.
Yeah.
It was VMAX, full art, rainbow, gold, alternate art. That's kind of how in my mind it goes.
Yeah, I would say so.
And so like the valuations of them obviously went down. You can buy almost all the full art cards in this era, the Sword and Shield era, for under $10, and most of them under $5. You'd be surprised on how many awesome full art cards you can find for like $2 to $4. Like it's absolutely asinine and insane,
it's crazy
how affordable they are.
Yeah,
which is awesome. But I'm so curious to see what the full arts are going to look like. I hope they look like the X and Y era ones. Like what are you hoping for the full arts on these EX cards?
Yeah, I would definitely like to see you kind of going back, a couple eras in the style of them. I think that would look really cool. I do enjoy some of the older style artworks, especially for the full art cards. I would like to, definitely like the trend that they were doing with like the nice, bright colors and everything like that. I think they were really starting to make, a lot of really nice looking full art cards, especially towards, more towards the end of the Sword and Shield era here. So I definitely hope they continue that. I definitely, hope they remain textured. I love, getting a textured card as well.
Yes. And yes, texture is texturization. I think I made that shit up. Is absolutely key. I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah. So yeah, if they did like just glossy full arts, like
gross.
No thanks. Right. But so I'm excited to see what the full arts are going to look like. I'm still over here looking at the EX cards here. One thing I didn't really notice until I was really looking at them too, not to bring it back to this again, but I really like that it almost is a full art card. If you look through the text, I mean, you can see the full body of Koraidon and Miraidon. I think that's super cool.
It is behind it.
Yeah, of course.
There definitely is some transparency there to where, if you go to Poke Beach, they also have the Blaziken there, and the text box completely blocks off the bottom portion of the card. And this does seem to have some transparency behind it. I think that's just a way for them to kind of differentiate, saying, hey, this is a new era of cards.
Not those type of EX cards. That totally makes sense. I'm sure that's probably why. But I'm glad that they did that. I think this definitely makes it look a little bit better. A little bit more going on. But yeah, really excited about the silver borders on these, and all the sparkly goodness on the borders as well. I think that always makes it look great. But yeah, really excited to see. And one other thing I wanted to mention here too is they also show us the EX logo. And I'm not sure if the logo's different on like the Koraidon and Miraidon than it is to like this. Is it the exact same? Okay, because the EX logo is like the diamond, right? The terrestrialization or whatever. Yeah. So it's going to be exciting to see, your full art EX terrestrialized Eevees with the big old diamond crown on her head and things like that. So, excited to see. I mean, there's going to be a lot more that comes out about this, and you're getting more excited, about this era. I know, last week I kind of poo-pooed all over the, the trailer for the Scarlet and Violet actual game, but seeing more stuff coming out for the TCG definitely gets me more excited about this new era for sure.